Hello guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be going over how to disprove Mormonism. Now, this explanation will be exclusively using the Book of Mormon because I know that, especially with Latter-day Saints and the fact that you have to believe in their doctrine, it's a lot easier, but what I've come across that's been the most difficult was people who believe in the Book of Mormon exclusively, right? Because you look up like all these contradictions and 99% of them, like even stuff like you becoming God and all that stuff, is only LDS doctrine. That's not even in the Book of Mormon. So this will be unanimous, universal for debunking any Mormon, whether they believe in the Book of Mormon and are LDS, and even if they're not. Now, to start, we need to understand the criteria the Book of Mormon is put under. So firstly, the basis for the Book of Mormon is the Bible, right? It's supposed to be an extension and extra verses that coincide with the Bible. It also has to be in agreement with the Bible. It cannot contradict the Bible at all. The Bible itself says in Galatians 1:6-9, I am astonished that you are so quickly deserting him who called you in the grace of Christ and are turning to a different gospel. Not that there is another one, but there are some who trouble you and want to distort the gospel of Christ. But even if we or an angel from heaven should preach to you a gospel contrary to the one we preach to you, let him be accursed, as we have said before. So now I say again, if anyone is preaching to you a gospel contrary to the one you received, let him be accursed, right? Because of this, and because the Book of Mormons believe in the Bible, if anything in the Book of Mormon were to be contrary to the Gospels or to the Bible, according to the Bible, you should not believe it. The Mormons should also not believe it because the Bible is authoritative for them. Now, so how does the Book of Mormon contradict the Bible? There's a couple passages that we'll be using today. Firstly, Helaman 14:12 says, and also that ye might know of the coming of Jesus Christ, the Son of God, the Father of heaven and of earth, the creator of all things from the beginning, and that ye might know of the signs of his coming, to the intent that ye might believe on his name. So here it says Jesus Christ is the Son of God and the Father of heaven and earth, which obviously contradicts the Bible. And we'll get into all those verses after. You also have Ether 3:14, which says, behold, I am he who has prepared from the foundations of the world to redeem my people. Behold, I am Jesus Christ. I am the Father and the Son. Again, contradicting the Bible, and we will show that. And Mosiah 15:1-4, which says, and now Abinadi said unto them, I would that ye should understand that God himself shall come down among the children of men, and shall redeem his people. And because he dwelleth in flesh, he shall be called the Son of God, and having subjected the flesh to the will of the Father, being the Father and the Son. The Father because he was conceived by the power of God, and the Son because of the flesh, thus becoming the Father and Son. And they are one God, ye, the very eternal Father of heaven and earth. So here, this once again contradicts the Bible, which we will get into, by saying that God was only called, the Son came from the fact that God became the flesh, and the Father came also arise because it was like the flesh was listening to God, right? So God is the Father and the Son, and they're like, this kind of points towards modalism in the sense that they're modes of existence, right? Now, how does this contradict the Bible? The easiest and simplest way to show this is using two verses. Firstly, John 1:1, specifically the Greek, but John 1:1 says, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and God was the Word, right? Very clear. Now, the way you can attack all the oneness stuff from the Book of Mormon and clearly show it contradicts the Bible is because of this specific phrase, pros ton theon, with the God, right? Every single use case in John, when it uses pros ton theon, it always, and I mean always, is used referring to two distinct things. The purpose of this is a preposition to describe a relationship between two distinct things, right? And all throughout John, without failure, this is the case. So you would have to ask a Mormon, if Jesus is the Father and the Son, right? How can the Logos, the Word, which in John 1:14 is clearly identified as the Son, be with the God, but then the second part, and God was the Word, we understand is not the same God it was with, because they have to be distinct from each other. So clearly they're both God, but they're not the same person. They're distinct from each other. So you just really just got to lean into and challenge them on how can pros ton theon clearly show that they are distinct and have a face-to-face relationship, right? If they're the same, if they're both the Father and the Son, just one, right? And then for the modalist esque kind of thing that's going on with Mosiah 15, 1 through 4, I would just use this verse. It says, "And now, Father, glorify me in your own presence with the glory that I had with you before the world existed." Now, how does this debunk modalism? Well, it's pretty simple, right? The verse clearly shows that Jesus is distinct from the Father. Jesus, when he's praying, is talking about the glory he shared with the Father before the world began. If Jesus was just simply the Father in a different mode, he wouldn't say this because he would not need to share glory with himself. It also shows that alongside John 1:1, which you can also use against a modalist, it shows that they had a coexisting relationship before the world existed, right? Where they both existed, but they're not the same. So you can also use John 1:1 to debunk the modalism kind of thing with Mosiah 15, 1 through 4. And that's pretty simply kind of how I disprove and attack Mormonism in the Book of Mormon specifically. Obviously, I'm live on TikTok Monday through Friday. My TikTok is @BugLovesAll. I'm live around 10 to 10:30 a.m. Central Standard Time, Monday through Friday. That's when I start my lives. I will also probably by the end of this week and next week be releasing 2 videos going in depth on debunking oneness and modalism so that you can fully understand and have more verses to attack with. I only did 1 of each today because that's really, whenever it comes to a Mormon, that's all you need, right? If you really understand and learn those verses, you can't really get around them. But obviously, there are a lot more that you can just wreak havoc against a oneness and modalist in a debate with them and completely tear apart their viewpoint. And I'll starting working on that today, but they will be out within at least one this week, and I might spread it out so the second one comes next week. I don't know, but yeah, Avade Christos Rex. I appreciate you guys coming. God bless.